This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Sorry, the ghost got me really quickly. Where are you? Happy Halloween. I did not dress up today. We didn't dress up on the Mark Thompson show, so. But did you, and what are you for Halloween? Are you gonna have any big plans tonight? What are you guys doing? Thank you for being here on the After Party Live. I will give you a programming note. Yes, tonight there will be a Nikki Maduro show from 5 to 6. Cocktails, mocktails, and politics. Nikki and I will be here and we'll be talking about that. So noted. Let's go. It is Trivia Thursday and I have some spooky trivia for you today. It is 5 p.m. We will be doing that show. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? You say there's no sound. I'm not sure if that's a you thing or a me thing. If you can hear me, let me know. Because otherwise I'm talking to myself, which we know has happened before. So I miss trick-or-treating with my kids, says Deidre. Oh, I wish I could let you go with mine. Yeah. Okay. You hear me? All right, good. Sorry about that, Gordon. I'm not sure why you can't hear me, but I think that, yeah, a lot of people can hear me. So I think that maybe on your end at that point, I don't know. Yeah, Judy says you might want to refresh. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm sorry, Phineas. I understand that. Yeah, he's still in mourning over losing his beautiful dog. Okay, that's a Gordon problem. Well, we love our Gordon, so hopefully he can figure it out. But it's good to know that it's not just you, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you guys for letting me know. I love how you respond. This is awesome. I have some Halloween stories, at least a couple that I put together for you. Mama's trick-or-treating with the little ones tonight, considering dressing up like Morticia and dressing the baby up like Pubert Adams. Is that the name of the baby in the story? Is it Pubert? I didn't know that, but that's funny. SJ Lola just did afternoon trick-or-treating with our 7-month-old grandson along our neighborhood business district. Those are fun. I did the Halloween parade this morning at the elementary school. I have successfully wrapped up the school Halloween costume exchange, so that's over. I don't have to stress out trying to get over to school so early anymore. But yeah, they did a huge parade today, and it was really fun because they start with TK with the 4-year-olds, and they go all the way up to 8th grade. So it's kind of cute to see that. Okay, Rupert. Rupert is his name, not Pubert, but I like Pubert is better even. I missed the Halloween parade when my son was young. Oh, yeah, it is pretty fun. It's cute to see the kids dressed up. Okay, let's get into some of these stories, and happy Halloween to you. The first one is about clowns. And why did I do this story? Just to show you the creepy picture of the clowns, of course. This is a story about a clown that was attacked, not the clowns attacking, but someone attacking the clowns. This happened at this Halloween event called Fear Forest. And the organizers of this event say there was a potentially dangerous medical device discovered here, and one of the folks that was participating had to be taken to the hospital. This happened in North Wales in the UK. Member of the staff was dressed as a clown, and someone at Zip World Fear Forest jabbed them with a needle. So it was a needle stick. Can you imagine you're just standing there, someone just comes and pops you with a needle? Now, did the needle contain something dangerous like disease? Like it was a dirty needle that they were jabbed with? Was the needle full of drugs to drug them and haul them away? I mean, who knows, right? But it was this was dangerous attack with this, what they're calling a potentially dangerous medical device. They had to close down the Fear Forest. The police came out. Once they figured it was safe, then they reopened everything. But they want to reassure people that the safety there remains a high priority, that they've now increased security measures for the remaining nights of the Fear Forest until November 3rd. But that's pretty scary, you know, get jabbed with a needle like that. Here's another kind of spooky story as well. You're doing this bike ride. I think this was also in the UK. And they've decided to do a bike ride in the shape of a skeleton. The route is in the shape of a skeleton. which looks to me like a massive pain in the rear end. Imagine that you have to go up around the skull, you have to go around those 2 rings for the eyes, then you have to go back again, then you have to go to the mouth, then you have to go back again, all the little rib cages in the middle, you have to go back and forth and back and forth. It just seems like such a ridiculous bike ride. But hey, if that's what they wanna do, if that's how they wanna celebrate Halloween, have at it. Oh my gosh. Looks like that cyclist is happy about it, so at least there's that. I don't know. There's another problem, and this is also a little bit spooky. This is a story about those buckets that I guess plastic buckets that people often will put on their porches, and it seems like they have an opening for candy and whatever else. And in some cases, deer are getting their head stuck in these buckets. So now there's an ask if folks could please not, and I have the picture up, you can kind of see the deer there. If folks could please not put these buckets up on their porches so that the deer get stuck in there. And if you do put the buckets on your porch, take the strap off, like the handle off, because I guess multiple deer were spotted in Ohio with these containers stuck on their heads, and they have to try to capture the deer. They don't want to be captured, and then get the buckets off of their heads. And they say, don't leave these buckets where they can be accessed by wildlife. And remove the plastic handle, which tends to wrap around the deer's head, which causes the whole issue in the first place. So we don't want the deer to have to deal with that. And because they can't eat, they can't drink, it becomes dangerous for them, right? I don't know if you saw this. It's another video that I want to show you. So I have to stop this one so I can show you this one. This is a video of a bear who, in deciding to explore someone's garbage can, has decided to roll the can kind of like a human being would roll a can. So it's a little amusing enough to watch it. Here's the bear. He's he's and he ends up just rolling this can along like he's gonna take out the trash. Why not? This is all caught on the security camera. It's in Alabama is where it happened. I'll play it again for you just because it's kind of funny. It looks like he's taking out the garbage. So again, this happened in Alabama. This bear standing on its hind legs, rolling the trash can toward the street. Doesn't quite make it all the way to the street, but kind of. The bear is pushing it away from the house in kind of the way a human would. Whoever they say dressed up as a bear and nicely rolled our trash cans to the road, thank you. They say he kept dragging it down the driveway. Another 15, 20 feet, just ended up laying it down in the neighbor's yard, and then started lying in all the garbage that fell out and eating it. They said the bear made a second attempt at trash the next morning, but ended up stumbling over a lawn chair in this particular instance and didn't quite make that happen either. But it's a pretty inventive bear. We'll give it that one. There is a statue in New Zealand that no one is really sad to say goodbye to. People thought this hand was super, super creepy. This is a city that is bidding farewell to this hand that was sitting on top of a building and that had a little face painted on it. When I'll show you this hand. And they're saying, yeah, it's gonna go now. Look at that. Okay, that's creepy, right? That's creepy. This is a sculpture, a controversial sculpture, this giant hand with a human-looking face. They're pulling it down from this building, which is where a gallery is located in Wellington, New Zealand. It has been there for 5 years. So 5 years people have had to look at this thing up there. It's called Quasi. and it's a sculpture by Ronnie Van Hout. It was commissioned by the Christchurch Arch Gallery in 2016. It was moved up to the top of the building in 2019. It's 16 and a half feet tall. It's based on the artist's own hand and face, and some Wellington residents have been calling this for the last 5 years very disturbing. One of the sculpture's champions, you could say, the chair of the Wellington Sculpture Trust, told the city council that the sculpture will be missed, but a lot of people are not thinking that at all. No other, here's the quote, no other before or since arrived so dramatically into our streetscape. Quasi arrived on an azure blue morning by helicopter and created a stir from day one, locally, nationally, and internationally. He was a great cheerleader for Wellington's creativity, and as Time magazine said, our quirkiness. He will be missed and leaves a quasi shaped hole in our civic skyline. They're pulling Quasi down on Saturday. Quasi is being taken to Australia. They have not decided where Quasi will be in Australia, where it's going next. But what we know is sayonara, Quasi. That's it. Yeah. I don't think anyone's sad to see that thing go. It is creepy. I don't know. Go into the chat. What do you think of it? You like King Quasi? Somebody made the Kool-Aid guy. Kind of, right? Looks like he has undies on. It does look like he has undies on. Some people are so easily disturbed, says Gordon. Phineas says it's cute. Rather look at this hand sculpture than the Quetzalcoatl sculpture in downtown San Jose. Oh, I haven't seen that one. To look it up. The only reason I don't like that is it looks way too much like Trump. I mean, it looks kind of like the same color, perhaps. I don't know. It's controversial because it's ugly and huge, I guess, is why. Nobody wants it. Wes wants one on his house. Wes, you're going to have to make that thing by 3D. I don't know. Viewfinder says maybe Capri Sun is mad it didn't think of this. Kool-Aid face figure advertising. Susan says, yeah, it's creepy and it reminds me of Trump. I think the people of Wellington have had to deal with this for the last 5 years, and I think finally they're getting a bit of a reprieve, and they've probably been waiting for this happy, happy day. Absolutely. All right. Well, that's fun. Make it make it tap dance and have a cane and a half. See you later. All right. See you later, hand. What is this thing? It's looks like maybe a work table, but then it's got this screw-like sculpture or thing, metal screw-like vice thing on top. I don't know what that is, and apparently no one else does either. The Maryland Historical Society is trying to identify what they call a mystery machine. They don't know what the hell this thing is. It was donated to a museum in the 1990s. Now the Dorchester County Historical Society is putting up pictures of this thing on social media. It's got a machine with a flat ceramic countertop and two spinning objects that look kind of like rolling pins, although I would say one of them looks more like a corkscrew. It was donated to the Historical Society's Neild Museum in the 90s. They've had it in storage ever since because they don't know what it is. They want to know if you can identify this machine. It has a new motor. Everything else is around 100 years old. They want to know what local industry in Maryland would have used this. One theory, maybe this machine was intended to make beaten biscuits, which were once popular in Maryland. They were known for their dense texture. They don't know. Maybe it was intended to simplify the dough making process for the biscuits, which traditionally involved using an axe to beat the dough on a stump to remove all the air pockets. Maybe it was a Maryland beaten biscuit maker. Created by someone trying to help their aunt with the business. Who knows? Other possibilities suggested a meat tenderizer, a leather working tool. I don't know. I don't know what it is either. You? Wes is going to ask Chat GPT. Let's see what they have to say. Let us know what the answer is. Julie's like, what the heck is it? Mo needed the dough. Yeah, maybe. They should post it in the "What is this thing" subreddit. It's possible they have. Nolafidian says, I've worked with lots of tools. That one, not familiar. Viewfinder says it has a state-of-the-art 3-phase induction motor for the times. Well, probably belonged to a serial killer. Phineas says, wait, didn't Scooby-Doo have a mystery machine? Wes says, I think this is the Chat GPT answer. This appears to be an old industrial rotary press or wringer, often used in print shops for processing materials like paper, textiles, or even leather. Maybe. It also said, oh, wait, what else did you say? It also says might have originally served as part of a binding, laminating, or rolling process. The attached motor suggests it was automated for continuous operation. The design is consistent with equipment used in the mid 20th century for light manufacturing or bookbinding. It's possible that AI just solved this problem. How is AI able to know more about the human condition and humanity than we do? That's what I want to know. That's wild. And has AI compiled enough information that it can just randomly figure out what some piece of gear is? Yeah, that's weird. That kind of creeps me out a little bit. I don't know. Uh, yeah. Uh, to the next story now, and thank you, Wes. That was actually really cool. There is a Romanian pianist who has now a new world record. He has hit this piano key 500 times in 30 seconds. That's pretty fast. We'll watch the video. I might get tagged for this. I'm not sure if I will or not, but I have video of it. That's so fast. 500 times in 30 seconds is crazy. To take down one picture to show a video. I'm sorry. Okay, so here it is. Here's what it looks like. And oh, I'm sorry. I'll take down Wes's comment too. Sorry, Wes. Here's what it looks like. And I feel like I would not be this fast ever. So this is, some of those records are dumb. And while this is a bit of a silly record, I don't know. I look at it and think, well, it's not something I could do. So hold on, I still have pumpkin buckets. Okay, here it is. Yeah, I'm gonna get tagged for this one, but that's okay. How crazy is that? So winner, he gets the world record for the piano. How fast can you hit a piano key in 30 seconds? He is from Romania, and his name is Thuro Zoltan. He's a renowned concert pianist. He took on the record on October 23rd as a tribute to his mother, who died on the same date last year at the age of 77. The current record was 495 piano key hits in 30 seconds, and that was done in Japan. So now this one is 500 times in 30 seconds. That's pretty crazy fast. I don't know what you guys thought about that. I thought that was pretty fast. It is now time for the lotto of the day. And this is another one of these cases where you have someone that's just so lucky that they win twice in their lifetime. I'm befuddled by the number of times this seems to have happened for people. It is crazy. So this lady wins the lottery in Idaho for the second time in 10 years. The first time she won $100,000. This time, she only won 70,000, but it's almost happened 10 years to the day after she won the first time. So her name is Sandy and she lives in Idaho. The Idaho Lottery says she bought her big spin ticket from the Maverick store in Caldwell, Idaho, and she won the chance to spin the lottery's big spin wheel. She said, I hadn't played Big Spin in a while. I thought I'll give that a try again. This is really unbelievable. She won $70,000 from her spin. It came 10 years to the month after she collected 100 grand from the Idaho's bingo game lottery game in October of 2014. She plans to use the latest prize money to treat her family, she said, to some very memorable experiences. So, can you imagine winning 2 times in your lifetime? Come on now. I don't know. Did you know, and I know from the fun stories to now a little bit more serious, still not politics though, at least there's that, right? Um, that more people are being diagnosed with autism lately. Isn't that weird? Well, maybe it's not so weird. As we become more aware of things and as tests are better, more people are getting tested. There have been big surges in new diagnoses of autism, especially among young adults, also a rise in diagnoses for girls and young women. It is a near tripling of US autism cases in just over a decade. More people getting tested, more people figuring out, oh, okay, maybe they were really high functioning. They maybe felt that they were a little different, and now they know that indeed they are a little different. Sorry, cough break. There's data now on over 12 million patients that were enrolled in major US healthcare systems. And the data shows that between 2011 and 2022, the number of people diagnosed with autism in America jumped 175%. The study is published yesterday in the journal JAMA Network Open. The rise in these diagnoses, especially dramatic among young adults ages 26 to 34, that group experienced a 450% increase, more than 5.5 times the number of autism cases in that age group. That's 26 to 34. Even though boys are still 4 times as likely to be diagnosed with autism compared to girls, the gender gap in diagnosis is closing, according to this team from Kaiser Permanente's Division of Research in Pleasanton, California. They say new diagnoses among male children during the study period rose by 185%, soared by 305% among girls. I just wonder if so many people have ADHD and autism and probably already always have, and we just never knew it, and have been struggling with the way we teach and have been struggling with kind of fitting in society, then I don't know, maybe we're doing it wrong. Because it seems like there's a lot of people that learn differently, that are, what do they say, you know, not neurotypical or neurodivergent or whatever the term is. And maybe we're doing it wrong and we're missing and have missed a way to engage and to include so many people in society. The thinking, according to the Kaiser team that did the research, is that the increase in advocacy and education could be bringing autism spectrum disorders out of the shadows and emerging more openness among Americans to get themselves or get their children screened for the condition. There have also, they say, been recent changes to developmental screening practices for children and changes in the definitions of these diagnoses, also the policies, and also some environmental factors that could be playing a role into the rise in case numbers. So, and here's something interesting about women with autism. They say there's research suggesting that gender behavior norms can lead females to socially hide autistic traits. So they camouflage it. It's possible that these social pressures and stigmas are now easing up a little bit. You don't have to fit into this box that society has told you that you need to, right? And so that's allowing girls and women to more comfortably go to the doctor and find out and go, do I have this and what can I do? And is it a problem? Is your life fine? And you're just, maybe you weren't a social butterfly in your life. That's fine. Still, autism rates are the highest among the very young. 30 out of every 1,000 children ages 5 to 8 get this diagnosis of autism. So, even with all this, and even with knowing more, accepting more, the researchers saying the data still could be an undercount of cases on the autism spectrum disorder, especially among adults. That, they didn't test like they did when a lot of us were growing up. And so it's possible that, some people may be on the spectrum and maybe they've always known it, but they don't have that official diagnosis. So I guess the question would be, is it important to get that diagnosis? Is it important to know these things about yourself? I think yes, because there are so many tips and tricks, even if someone is high functioning, that could maybe help them deal with people. So it would be nice to know for sure. And I think a lot of times, this from just knowing people who have been diagnosed in adulthood, that they spent their life somehow thinking, somehow being told that something was wrong with them. And nothing is wrong with them. Their brain just works a little bit differently. I'm going to the chat because I feel like that, yeah, I feel like you guys probably have more experiences with these things as well. Um, Heather says, I'm not hyper at all, but inattentive. I won't read that part. Medication literally changed my life. Wow. So these diagnoses are really important and people can be helped, whether it's ADHD, whether it's autism, whether it's whatever, right? Yeah. Um, you think Musk is on the spectrum. I think that, yeah. Yeah, they think maybe he's, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Probably. ADHD is underdiagnosed. I will tell you that my son has ADHD. So he's going to be fine in his life. I'm not worried about him at all. I think I probably have it, to be honest. I don't know. Yeah. Heather says it's called masking and it's exhausting trying to hide these symptoms, right? Mo says for females 70 years ago that was called hysteria. Yeah. David says so millennials will have even more excuses to be the way they are. I don't think of it as an excuse. I think of it as learning about yourself. It's not I don't think that's an excuse. I think that is finally figuring out why you may have struggled more than other people in life. And I think that's really important. Judy says, just like ADHD used to be the big thing, so many kids were being put on Ritalin. Yeah. Here, Heather again. I didn't get my ADHD diagnosis until I was 36, and it explained so much. And it was a relief. Also made me sad, wondering how different things would have been if I had been diagnosed as a kid. Maybe not so different, honestly, because, even 10 years ago, the kids weren't treated the same as they are now. And by treated, I don't mean, the way we react to them or interact with them. I mean medically treated with therapy or, we have a special class. It's called ADHD Warriors my son takes every week. And they give him tips and tricks with how to make sure that he can focus in class and listen to brown noise and do all these different things that make him able to manage this in a beautiful way. So I don't know what it would have, how different it would have been, because I don't think that we have the same thought process ability to treat it, ability to help kids with it as we do now. So, yeah. Blue Spark says, I've always known I have some kind of issue. I can't remember names, hard time focusing on certain things, don't recognize acquaintances. Oh, it could be that a diagnosis would open up your world. Maybe like Heather says, right? Peter Newton, hey Peter, says Tom Hartman writes a blog about something along these lines, forgetting what it is with all the politics and anxiety at the moment. Totally. Mo says I was finally able to take a learn to learn class, add summer school at Laney College that changed my life. And I was already married with 2 children. Can be a big thing finding out why you've struggled, right? Yeah, Phineas says 30 to 40 years ago, we didn't have a diagnosis or a treatment for it. Absolutely. Trevor says, my father's solution for ADHD, calm down and pay attention. It doesn't work. And you know what? The more he said it until he got frustrated and then yelled it, the less it worked, right? And the more the kid beats their head against the wall because they can't figure out why they can't do that. So frustrating. Yeah, very different approach. Maybe not. Maybe so, though, because at least you would have known, right? I'm happy you know now. Mama says, having a really hard time right now getting my son to sit and eat a meal. He's always getting distracted with other things. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. You have to trick him, right? You have to make it fun. You have to play games with him, right? Offer offer a little reward. Does he like grapes or raisins? You know, take however many bites and get a grape and make it fun type of thing. I don't know, that's a suggestion. I'm not sure. My son has never had trouble eating. That's not a problem in this house, eating stuff. Yeah, Julie says bribes. Absolutely. That's my first go-to as a bribe. Isn't that funny? Oh, Gordon says I stared out the window in class. You and me both, friend. Am I on the spectrum or just bored to death? Maybe a touch of each. Who knows? Yeah. All right. Are you guys ready for it? It is time for Trivia Thursday on this spooky Halloween. And I have some trivia questions that I hope you will enjoy today's offerings. And Brian has a couple suggestions. I thought these are good ones. Limit the internet and social media for children, get them interacting with humans. Yeah. A fidget toy. Yeah, the fidget toys can be really, really helpful. Absolutely. Um, Also, something else. What is it? A fidget toy? Oh, did you know? And I don't know if anyone with ADHD is aware of this, but what I'm told is that video games can be really harmful. That there's something that happens in the ADHD mind that makes a kid more likely to get addicted to video games. They get this kind of serotonin high, and it almost is like uh, when you self-medicate, right? When you self-medicate to try to make yourself feel better, video games do that, especially for people with ADHD. So you might want to, as Brian Scott says, limit the online stuff if you don't already. All right. Fidget cube is a good one. Like it. Yeah. We have fidget spinners, fidget cubes, little Legos. Sometimes my son will just keep a Lego thing that clicks back and forth in his pocket and he messes with it and while he pays attention. So yeah, those are cool. Those Sashibo is a great fidget toy. Mhm. I'm wrong, according to Phineas. There's a video game that treats ADHD. Yeah, there are some specifically for it because they know that people with ADHD gravitate toward video games, but most video games are not for ADHD. But I hear what you're saying. Okay. All right. Trivia Thursday. I promised, and here it is. It's Spooky Trivia Thursday. Here we go. And the first question is this. There it is. I have them all sectioned out today. What is the name of the legend, don't Google it, that jack-o'-lanterns originated from? What is the name of the legend that jack-o'-lanterns originated from? The Legend of Sleepy Hollow would be incorrect, but I love that you thought of it. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Everyone going Sleepy Hollow. The Lone Lantern, Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman. Sleepy Hollow, Headless Horseman. Okay, the answer to this question is the Irish mythology of Stingy Jack. That is where the legend comes from and where jack-o'-lanterns originated. Now, it could be that Stingy Jack also has to do with the Headless Horseman, but I don't know the answer to that. And the answer I'm looking at is the Irish mythology of Stingy Jack. Next question. Is the pumpkin a fruit or a vegetable? Is the pumpkin a fruit or a vegetable? What say ye? Look at you guys. Trevor says, oh, we'll go back. Looks like I missed a bunch of them. Trevor says that would be a fruit, Kim. And Trevor would be correct. So Trevor gets it. David gets it. Wes gets it. Julie gets it. It's a gourd. SJ Lola's on it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Walnut Creek, Nullifidian, Blue Spark. Well done. It is a fruit. And the next question. You guys ready? What does it mean if you see a blue pumpkin while you're trick-or-treating? What does it mean if you see a blue pumpkin while you are trick-or-treating? Don't know. So it's come to my attention that some people are upset because they think that they are first. And I've said someone else is first. All I can tell you is how it shows up on my screen. So in this particular case, Trevor showed up as first on my screen. So I'm sorry if it popped up first on your screen, but I can only do what it showed on my screen. Okay. So here it is. Autism awareness. The first one, Autism House. Heather says first. We can scroll back. I'm scrolling back. Oop, because I was trying to answer a question that I didn't get to them first. Deidre says autism first. Yes, that's true. Walnut Creek says gluten-free. Allergy safe, says Wes. Democrat House, says Julie. That's pretty good. The answer is indeed there are allergy-free treats at that home. Allergy-free treats at that home. That is correct. So again, this is going to be... Who had it? Somebody had it. I have to scroll back. Wes had it. Wes had it first. All right. Sorry. All right. I'm back on track, everybody. It's going to happen. Next spooky question. Which Halloween candy was originally referred to as chicken feed? Which Halloween candy was originally referred to as chicken feed? We know. Candy corn is correct. Let's see who gets it first. It was... Scrolling back on my screen, it was Trevor who had it first. Trevor, followed by Uncle Jim and Julie and Peter and Brian Scott. Can I say Brian or do I have to say Brian Scott? I'll go Brian. And Wes and Rev. It was candy corn. You guys got it. Well done. Okay, before pumpkins, which root vegetables did the Irish and the Scottish carve on Halloween? My husband's mad. He doesn't want to play my reindeer games anymore because he thinks he's first because it pops up on his screen first. I'm telling you, for a tech guy, it's not the best and brightest over there. Uh-oh, now he's coming in the office probably. Which Halloween, or rather, before pumpkins, which root vegetables did the Irish and the Scottish carve on Halloween? I'm cracking myself up. Yes, it was the turnip. So whoever got the turnip is going to be correct. Let's see. I see gourds, potatoes, 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 Walnut Creek Adult Softball with turnips, not rutabagas. Potatoes would have made sense, but no, turnips. B.A. Ware has it as well. And Eileen has it. Well done. And Meredith has it, and Blue Spark has it. Yeah, it was turnips. That's what they did with those. What did Americans use for Halloween decorations in the early 1900s? I would say this is not too different than we have today, except for the plastic. What did Americans use for Halloween decorations in the early 1900s? Turnips are hard to carve, says Rhonda. With a wee knife, says Heather. Candles, says Deidre. Candle, says Nullifidian. They use sheets, said Williams. Tinsel, popcorn, actual bodies. Scarecrows, LED lamps, no real skeletons. The answer is this. I think gourds or the colors of the wind is closest with gourds. The answer is they used crepe paper, cardboard cutouts, corn stalks, pumpkins, gourds, and hay. Which famous Halloween movie features the line, "Do you like scary movies?" Which famous Halloween movie features the line, "Do you like scary movies?" You would have been right had you said it, Deidre. Halloween, says Deidre. Halloween. Scream. The answer is indeed Scream. Do you like scary movies? So the first person to get this one is Brian gets this one. Well done. Followed by Trevor and Heather and Wes and Mama. It was Scream and Gordon. Yeah. Oh no, Peter. Halloween will never be fun for me going forward. The night my mother took that final turn a year ago, but I will think of her. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about what do they call it in the Jewish religion, the Yahrzeit, as the year marking a year since someone has passed. I'm really sorry that happened. Yeah, kind of mars the day for you, doesn't it? Here's a question that's North Bay related here in the North Bay. What year did It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, first air? Gosh, that's been around forever. Before I was born, for sure. What year did It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, first air? What year was that? Do we know? It was not 63, though you are quite close. It was not 70. Before that, S.J. Lola with 1966. You would be correct. That is right. 1966 is the year of the Great Pumpkin. Deidre also has it. Well done. Scrolling down, seeing who has 66. I got a lot of 65s and 67s. It was 66. I know, it's been around forever. Come on. Which movie tops Rotten Tomatoes list of the scariest horror movies ever? And I completely agree with this because it scared the bejesus out of me and still does. God, when I was pregnant, freaky. Oh, I just gave it away. I'm sorry. Which movie tops Rotten Tomatoes list of the scariest horror movies ever? Worst trivia host ever for me as well. Let's see which ones you say. The scariest horror movie ever. Good grief, Charlie Brown, says Calvin Wong. Jaws is good, but it's not right. The Blob? Nope. Blair Witch scared the holy hell out of me, but that is not the scariest horror movie ever, according to Rotten Tomatoes. Saw, Dead Alive, The Exorcist, Halloween, The Birds. This is the case. It is The Exorcist. William gets it. That tops the list. Yeah, so William gets it. Mama gets it. B.A. Ware gets it. Phineas says, yes, Exorcist. Gordon has it as well. Wes has it. It is The Exorcist, the scariest movie of all time. What was the original title of the movie Halloween? What before they decided to call it Halloween, what were they gonna name it? The original title of the movie Halloween was what? Kinda creepy. Mm. BBO, Night of the Dead, Hell Night. It was Be Aware, the babysitter murders. That's exactly what they were gonna call it. Here's a question for you. This one should be, I think this one seems easy to me. Where was Hocus Pocus filmed? Where was Hocus Pocus filmed? Hmm. Hocus Pocus, the movie. Where was it filmed? Yeah, it was in Salem, Massachusetts. Salem. It's a movie about witches. Makes perfect sense. I got a Salem from Brian. I got a Salem from John and Mama. I got a Salem from B.A. Ware. Salem, of course, he writes. Of course, that was where it was filmed. Besides horror, in what other genre did Dracula author Bram Stoker publish books? Besides horror, in what other genre did Dracula author Bram Stoker publish books? Phineas doesn't remember the movie. Yes, Jennifer, romance. Is that not the weirdest thing? Yeah, little horror, little romance. Why not? Jennifer says romance. Trevor says romance. Now, this would have made sense to me. Mystery would have been, I could see that, but no, romance is true. Yeah, Heather gets it as well. Phineas says, yeah, romance. Mm-hmm. John says vampires are kind of sexy, so, you know, makes sense. Mama says Dracula is the scariest book I've ever read. And Wes says, well, Bram Stoker's Dracula was kind of a love story, so there is that. The 1962 novel Something Wicked This Way Comes was penned by what author? Something Wicked This Way Comes, written in 1962, is by what author? Mm. Yes, it was indeed not George Santos, but it was, says Wes, Ray Bradbury. And Wes is correct, as is Jim Shields is correct, and B.A. Ware is correct. And who else had it? I'll take Bradders because I think you meant to write Bradbury. Yes, nice. Okay, next one. Who wrote the hold on. Which Irish band, let's do this. Which Irish band has a hit song named Zombie? Which Irish band has a hit song named Zombie? They say zombie weird, so you might not realize that you're singing the word zombie. Yep. Heather has it. It's the Cranberries. Zombie. Zombie, says Heather, was by the Cranberries. Brian had it too. Deidre had it. William had it. Rev P had it. Yes, for B.A. Ware and John and Peter. Well done, you guys. Louise throwing down zombie. Nice. Okay. Next one. Who wrote the 1818 classic book Frankenstein? Who is the author of the classic 1818 book Frankenstein? John says that's a song about the fighting in Northern Ireland. Zombie. Yeah. Mary Shelley, says Wes, and he is correct. It is Mary Shelley. Wes, first to the punch. Throwing it down also is Trevor and Heather. And Walnut Creek Adult Softball. Sorry, I forgot how to speak. Deidre has it. John, Uncle Jim. You guys know your Frankenstein. Look at you, Jennifer and William and B.A. Ware and Brian and Rev. Nice. Okay. What's another name for a lycanthrope? Lycanthrope. It's another name for a lycanthrope. I'll even put it up on a banner because I wouldn't have known how to spell this. Don't Google it. What do we also call a lycanthrope? Yeah, you guys knew it off the bat. Look at you. Why are you so smart? Uncle Jim says it's a werewolf, and he's correct. Oh, you're seeing the answers before I start the question? That's weird. See, sometimes things happen. Brian says werewolf. He is correct. Werewolf says Jennifer. Yipper. Werewolf says Nullifidian. That's correct. John has it. Rhonda has it. Viewfinders has it. How did you guys know that? I didn't know that a lycanthrope was a werewolf. People are too smart for me. In Slavic folklore, what is the name of the water-dwelling demon who drags humans into lakes and rivers? Creepy. In Slavic folklore, what is the name of the water-dwelling demon who drags humans into lakes and into rivers? I wouldn't have gotten this one. That's for sure. Where does, though? It's the Rusalka. Yes, it is the Rusalka. Peter, it is not Steve Bannon. Swamp Man. It is not Trump. I'm giving it to be aware. It is the Rusalka. Yeah. I don't know if did anyone else have that? And I missed it? It's the Rusalka. Creepy. Okay. Congratulations on that one. And lastly, which ancient Egyptian mythological feature is often portrayed as a mummy in horror stories? It's an ancient Egyptian mythological figure often portrayed as a mummy in horror stories. No, it's not Trump. Which one do you think? Not Pharaoh. Not King Tut. Good guess, though. I think in the movie The Mummy, they chanted it. Not a hellhound. Not the Sphinx. Oh, I might have to give you guys this one. I stumped y'all on Halloween. Look at that. The answer is Imhotep. 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 Remember they chanted it? Yeah, they did. It was Imhotep is the answer to that one. I don't think you will know the other one. So because there's some of them are really hard. Some of them are really easy. How about this one to wrap it up? Besides sucking human blood, what do bats and vampires have in common? Besides sucking human blood, you have to say it like that. What do bats and vampires have in common? Flight would be a good one. That is not the answer they're looking for. Nocturnal is the answer of the day. Thank you so much, Heather, for that. Thank you guys for participating. So much fun. Spooky trivia for Trivia Thursday. Thank you for being here for it. And I hope that it, if you didn't have any other Halloween plans today, I hope that spiced it up in just a little bit. I can't believe you guys knew that word. I'm telling you. I am telling you. You can always email me, Kim@theafterparty.live. Please do. I love to get your story suggestions. I love to get your Travel Tuesday suggestions and your waterfall and cave suggestions for the week. And just to, tell me whatever you've been thinking about. Tonight at 5:00, it will be you and me and Nikki Maduro, because we are gathering for the Nikki Maduro show here on YouTube from 5 to 6. It might be a little shorter. Sometimes we stretch it to 2 hours. Sometimes it's an hour and a half. Tonight, it'll probably be closer to an hour, but there's so much to talk about in regards to the election. So we'll do that together. Again, that's tonight, 5 p.m. right here on YouTube. And then, of course, tomorrow, 11 a.m., The Mark Thompson Show, Friday Fabulous Florida. Michael Schur will kick off the show tomorrow. And then we'll have Michael Snyder in as well. Tim Sika joins us right here on the After Party Live at a little after 1 o'clock, maybe 1:15, 1:20, whenever Mark finishes, truthfully. That's when we'll be here. Tim Sika, though, is at 1:30 here on the After Party Live. All right, I hope everyone has a great, safe, and yet spooky Halloween night, and I will see you right back here on the After Party Live, or on the Nikki Medoro Show, I should say, at 5 o'clock tonight. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Maybe Nikki will. See you, Heather. She's going as a golden retriever.